I really like how the sun is on my window right now. It's beautiful. Now, if you want sunset photos during summer, let's talk about a timeline that actually will work with that. My name is Jacque Prates and I'm a wedding photographer, and after doing hundreds of weddings, especially during summer, the busiest season, I came up with a few ideas that can help you on a daily basis. So today let's talk about timeline. I had a couple actually that gave me this idea and I thought was genius because the wedding day itself it's very long. So let's say you get married at 2 o'clock. The sunset now it's around what? Now here is 9:15, and as the summer enters, it gets later. But this couple they came with an amazing idea of a timeline that I think I should share with you. So let's not talk about timings specifically, let's talk about event and how much time you need to have in between so it's not boring and you have the sunset photos with your photographer without interrupting all the rest, because in the evening you have evening guests, cake cutting, first dance, and then sometimes you're tired already. You already had photos during the day, you already had the family during the day, so let's break it down to make it easy. Normally with my couples we go out twice on a day for photos so we can also enjoy the sunset. I don't know if you've seen, but it was so beautiful. Now it's done. It's like something that lasts 10-15 minutes. It depends on the location. I got this app on my phone that it's an amazing app. I just open and I show exactly the location where I am with my camera, and it shows the tracking of the sun, which is amazing. And then I can see any open fields or anything that will give us the sunset photos. But going twice for couples portraits, it's good. You're not gonna hate your photographer during your wedding breakfast. Believe me, this is my biggest fear. The couple had the ceremony, loads of things, and then you go for a 1 hour photo session with family, 2 hours photo session with the photographer, and you're tired. And by the wedding breakfast, you're gonna be looking at your photographer like, oh my Jesus Christ, why? You're not gonna have enjoy it. So I like to leave 10-15 minutes before the wedding breakfast and 10-15 minutes after the wedding breakfast at some point. Normally I take the couple again during the break that we have between the wedding breakfast and the evening guests, so they're not missing out the evening guests arriving. But now for sunset photos, this is how we're gonna do. So normally on a timeline, we have 1.5 hours in between ceremony and wedding breakfast for photos. So on that period, all the family photos are done, a few couples portraits, and papa, that's right. In the evening, you have 1 hour, 30 minutes to an hour between the wedding breakfast and the evening, so they can turn the room around, the DJ has time to set up, and then your evening guests start to arrive. I'm so sorry, my hay fever. With the evening, with the sunset being so late, my advice is this couple did this without talking to me, and I thought it was just genius. They're gonna have the guests arriving from 6:30, 7 o'clock, cake cutting and first dance at 8, and then they have the buffet at 9, the evening meal. So what they said, they spoke with the wedding coordinator because they obviously want some meal. They will do their plates, keep it nice and warm somewhere, and then they will go out for photos for 15 minutes between 9, 9:15, have lovely sunset photos while everyone is eating. They are not partying, people are just sat down having some food, which is genius. So if you're having a wedding during summer and you want sunset photos, just plan your evening meal when the sunset is coming. So otherwise you will miss your cake cutting and first dance time. Everything will start to get delayed and will become that massive snowball, because when you have private venues handling your timeline and you have a full day wedding there, they like to go strict with the time because of the kitchen's time. They cannot be holding food for too long. The food will be cold, will be weird, and this is not what they do. So if you do everything you need to do, and then you go for some sunset photos. On the sunset photos, normally it's a more relaxed approach. So grooms, you don't need your ties. Sometimes you don't need your jacket. It depends on, of course, what style of photos you want. But normally I like to bring a little bit more of life, a little bit more of movement than we did on the day. So I like to do the traditional photo of the couple standing and looking at me, because these are the photos that parents have, grandparents have, and so on. So it's nice to have one, not skipping generation and just do the modern portraits. Let's do at least one. And then after we do some more movement, natural. The traditional photo is more for the sake of having. And I noticed that most of the couples, they prefer this photo out of all the other modern ones, even if you are on the more candid style, more go with the flow. Sometimes you have that photo when your mom has that photo, and or your dad, or so on, and then you look all generations, and I think it's cool. But the sunset, normally the photographer, he plans ahead the portraits that he would do, because we don't have much time, and it also depends on where the sunset is on your venue, all the sort of things. So speak with your photographer if you want sunset photos. The app that I use is the Sun Tracker. It's a paid app, but if you have a photographer, your photographer probably has the ways to see, and then you can see if there are any open fields and what can be done. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I see you next week.